Welcome to Brainish English Stories.
Once upon a time, in a small town, there lived a clever and diligent girl named Linda. Linda was 24 years old and had a job at her father's bakery. She loved learning new things and was also studying while working at the bakery. Linda's days were busy but fulfilling. She helped her father with baking delicious treats, from fluffy cakes to crispy cookies. Linda was good at managing her time, balancing work and study. However, one day, a sudden change occurred. Linda's father fell ill and couldn't go to the bakery anymore. Linda, being a responsible daughter, took over all the tasks at the bakery. She woke up early, mixed the dough, and served the customers with a warm smile. Despite her busy schedule, Linda continued her studies at night, determined to succeed. For 6 months, Linda worked hard and kept the bakery running smoothly. She became the heart of the small shop. However, her father's health did not improve. One day, he called Linda to his bedside and expressed a heartfelt wish. "Before I go, I want to see you happily married, my dear Linda," he said with a weak but hopeful smile. Linda was taken aback. She never thought about marriage as her focus was on her studies and helping her father. Now, with a new responsibility on her shoulders, Linda faced a tough decision. She wanted to make her father's last days happy, but she also had dreams of her own. In the little town where Linda lived, her family was on a quest to find a suitable groom for her. During this time, a wealthy man named Evan Parker arrived in the town. Evan had a big dream, to build a hotel, just like his father had wished. The location he chose for this dream already had some small shops and houses. Evan began his project with determination. He approached the people living there, offering them a significant amount of money to buy their properties. Slowly but steadily, he acquired the land, and more houses and shops became a part of his plan. Unfortunately, Linda's beloved bakery was also in that location. One day, Evan found out that there was only one shop left in the area he wanted for his hotel, and it was Linda's bakery. Curious and determined, he decided to go and talk to the owners of the bakery. On that very same day, Linda and her family were preparing for a meeting with another family, who had to come for matchmaking. Linda wasn't too keen on it, but she wanted to make her father happy, so she went along with the plans. Evening came, and everyone in Linda's house got ready for the meeting. However, there was a little problem. The family that was supposed to come for matchmaking couldn't make it. At the same time, Evan, unaware of the matchmaking plans, decided to visit Linda's house. He thought it would be nice to buy some sweets and flowers for the family. He rang the doorbell, and Linda's father, opening the door, misunderstood the situation. He thought Evan had come to ask for Linda's hand in marriage. Linda's father warmly welcomed Evan inside their house. He was impressed because Evan looked very rich and polite. Linda, coming into the living room, was also surprised to see Evan. He looked better than she expected. Even her mother was impressed by Evan's appearance. Linda's father, Mr. Johnson, asked Evan why he hadn't brought his parents with him. Evan didn't understand that they were thinking about matchmaking. He explained that he wanted to settle in the town first and make everything run perfectly. After that, he planned to call his parents and friends for a celebration. But Linda and her family misunderstood everything as a marriage proposal. Evan, trying to be friendly, said that if they accepted his proposal, he would be very happy. By proposal, he meant his offer to buy the bakery. Linda, for the first time, blushed a little. She sort of liked Evan. Mr. Johnson stood up and expressed how much he liked Evan. He praised Evan's good manners and politeness, saying he had never met such a well-mannered and polite gentleman before. He then said he accepted Evan's proposal but wanted to ask for Linda's permission. He suggested they go to the garden and talk. Evan thought Mr. Johnson wanted to discuss the bakery, but Linda, on the other hand, was thinking about accepting Evan's marriage proposal. Evan and Linda walked into the garden. Evan felt confused because he didn't understand why Mr. Johnson sent his daughter alone with him. Linda, on the other hand, couldn't help but blush a little. As they found a quiet spot, Evan, trying to be friendly, started the conversation. He said, "Your family is very nice. I've bought many shops and houses, but none of the families treated me as warmly as yours. Linda, I request your help to complete my dream project. Your father has already accepted my offer, and I promise to pay a good amount for your bakery." Linda looked at Evan, puzzled and pale. She stammered, "You came here to buy my bakery. You've been talking about this the whole time. Are you stupid? You've made fun of my father's feelings." Evan, now realizing the misunderstanding, looked confused and asked, "I am sorry, but what have I done?" Linda, upset, explained that her family thought he came for matchmaking. Evan was shocked and apologized to Linda. She was very upset, already thinking about her future life. Evan, still wanting an answer about the bakery, said, "Linda, I am sorry for what happened, but I need an answer. Will you sell your bakery to me?" Linda, already upset, got hurt hearing Evan's words. Out of frustration, she slapped him and said, "Are you kidding me? How can you ask this question to me? My father thinks of you as my future husband, and he is very ill. The bakery is our only source of income, and you want me to sell it to you. That bakery is like my father's second home." Evan, angry because of the slap, said, "Ms. Linda, you cannot raise your hand on me. Do you know who I am? I can not only buy your bakery but also your home if I want. But now you will regret this." As they argued, Linda's mother shouted, "Help! Help! Help!" Linda and Evan rushed back into the house, their hearts pounding with worry. Inside, they found Mr. Johnson lying on the floor. He had suffered a heart attack, and Linda's mother was crying bitterly. Linda, shaken with fear, tried to call an ambulance, but her hands were trembling so much that she couldn't manage it. Evan, staying calm in the tense situation, approached Linda and said, "Linda, look at me. Just breathe. We can save your father. You have to help me. My car is outside. We will take your father to the hospital right now. Just help me pick him up." Linda, listening to Evan's comforting words, took a deep breath and assisted him in lifting her father. Evan drove as fast as he could, weaving through the streets to get to the hospital quickly. The urgency in their actions reflected the concern for Mr. Johnson's well-being. They reached the hospital, and Mr. Johnson was swiftly taken into the intensive care unit. Linda, overwhelmed with worry, cried bitterly. Evan, showing a caring side, went over to her and gave her a comforting hug. He said, "Linda, this is not the time to break down. Your family needs you. Your mother is already devastated. You need to be strong." Linda, encouraged by Evan's support, wiped away her tears and gathered herself. They waited anxiously for news about Mr. Johnson. After some time, the doctors came out with a reassuring update. They had successfully treated Mr. Johnson, and he was doing well. Relief washed over Linda and her family, and they thanked Evan for his quick thinking and support during the critical moments. After Mr. Johnson was taken to his room, Linda and Evan went to meet him. Linda, filled with joy, hugged her father tightly. She expressed how scared she was at the thought of losing him. Mr. Johnson, smiling warmly, comforted her, saying, "Don't worry, my Linda. I am not going anywhere until I see you marry this handsome man, Evan." Linda, glancing at Evan with a hint of worry, feared that if Evan told her father the truth, it might affect his health. Sensing her concern, Evan assured Mr. Johnson, saying, "Don't worry, Mr. Johnson. Everything will be as you want. Linda has already accepted my proposal. Very soon, we will be married." Linda looked at Evan, confused and warm-hearted. They both left the room, and as they walked down the hospital corridor, Linda questioned Evan, "Evan, why did you do that?" Evan gently held her hand and replied, "Linda, I know your father's condition. We can't tell him the truth right now. When he recovers, we will explain everything." Linda, touched by Evan's understanding, looked at him with love in her eyes. She hugged him and said, "I am sorry for the slap and everything. I was just shocked." Evan, looking deeply into her eyes, responded, "I am also sorry. I was very rude to you. Let's put all this behind us and begin anew." After a few days, Mr. Johnson was discharged from the hospital, much to the relief of Linda and her family. Evan, caring about Mr. Johnson's recovery, decided to visit him. Linda and Evan continued to act as if they were a couple in love. The family spent a delightful day together, and Evan became like a cherished member of their family. After a lovely dinner, Evan and Linda went for a walk. In a quiet moment, Evan shared his thoughts with Linda, saying, "Linda, I have thought a lot, and I have an offer for you. I want to fulfill my dream project, but instead of buying your bakery, I want to be a partner. I plan to build a restaurant and include your bakery in it. You can continue running your business as you do now, but on a larger scale. This way, both of us can fulfill our dreams." Linda, looking at him, smiled warmly and readily accepted his offer. Over the next 2 months, Linda and Evan worked together on the restaurant project. Linda, already feeling a deep affection for Evan, was unaware of his true feelings. One day, Mr. Johnson called Evan and asked him to bring his parents home. Evan conveyed this to Linda, who thought it was time to reveal the truth to her father. Linda stood up and said, "I think we should tell Father the truth. He is getting attached to you. Honestly, he loves you. Now, you'll get rid of me and my family. I know you don't like pretending to be my lover. Come home tonight. We will tell the truth today." Linda spoke with emotion, feeling the weight of the situation. Evan, though upset, didn't realize that he was also in love with her. He agreed, saying, "Yes, it will be better for all of us. Let's end this." The small town story was about to take another unexpected turn as the truth unfolded. As Linda left, Evan felt a strange emptiness in his life. He realized he actually enjoyed pretending to be her lover. Holding her hand, looking into her eyes, Evan liked everything about Linda. Deep in thought, he came to a profound realization: he was in love with Linda. With this newfound understanding, he made a plan. In the evening, Evan got ready in his best attire and went to Linda's house. Linda, still upset, opened the door. They both went to her father, and Linda began, "Father, I need to tell you something." Just then, Evan stopped her and continued, "Mr. Johnson, I am sorry my parents couldn't come today, but they will very soon. I have an announcement to make." Turning to Linda, Evan held her hand, knelt down on one knee, took out a ring, and said, "Linda, I know I have been very stupid. I should have realized it before that. I am mad for you. I can't live without you. I love you." Linda, tearful but with a smile, exclaimed, "I love you too. I have been in love with you for so long but didn't have the courage to tell you this." Evan gently placed the ring on Linda's finger, sealing their commitment. They soon got married and started a new chapter in their lives. The small town witnessed a love story that blossomed from misunderstandings, bringing happiness and joy to Linda, Evan, and Mr. Johnson, who had hoped to see his daughter happily married. And so, they lived happily ever after.